Hello everyone, a very good afternoon to all of you guys. My name is Abhishek Singh and I welcome you all on behalf of the Gradeup IAS. So guys, a very good afternoon and a Merry Christmas to all of you guys, those who are watching it on the application of Gradeup and those who are watching it live on the YouTube. A very warm welcome to all of you guys. I hope that all of you must be enjoying a lot today, and therefore guys, just to increase this joy of yours on this esteemed festival, the Gradeup has brought up a very interesting offer for you students. First of all, I'd like to inform that all of you that Gradeup is giving you a flat 20% off guys on the Gradeup Super subscription for the UPSC Civil Services examination course as well as the EPFO course, which will give you the live courses plus mock tests as well. And the best part of this, the December to remember offer that is going on, my friends, where you can get up to 40% off on your subscription to the Gradeup Super. All right. So with this great news, let's introduce the today's topic, guys, and that is going to be about Singapore, which has introduced the facial verification identification database. All right. So friends, nowadays it is a very common thing. Very common thing that many countries are introducing the identification database and the methods of the facial verification. Okay, various recognition systems, right? Verification systems, so many things. Okay, good afternoon, Aarti. How are you? I hope you are very great and you are doing fun today. Merry Christmas. And so guys, we are going to have in this today's lecture a very interesting information. Have you ever thought that is it safe that if you keep uploading your pictures on the various social sites, or is it really safe to upload your information related to the mobile numbers or related to your email IDs whenever any particular portal on the internet asks for you? Don't you think that these informations may be misused, even though they guarantee that there will be a right to privacy given to you? All right. So we may expect, guys, that it is a big business today. It is a very big business today that whichever website you open or whichever website you visit, whichever site, whichever portal, whichever platform you are browsing on the internet, every platform is storing your data. All right. Every platform is storing your data. So guys, ultimately we can say that we have been converted into the collection of data for the digital world. All right. And for the same purpose, my dear friends, I would like to introduce you that the countries have now been moving towards the citizen database based on the facial recognition, that everybody's facial and the physical records would be available and stored in a data bank, so that whenever the government needs, government can recognize you individually. All right, government can recognize you individually. So that means, क्या मतलब होता है इसका कि आपका जो भी डेटा इंटरनेट पर आज की डेट में आपने डाल रखा है, चाहे वो आपका फोटोग्राफ हो, चाहे वो आपके ईमेल आईडी के बारे में बात की जाए, हर एक चीज कहीं ना कहीं आपके लिए एक छोटा सा रिस्क पैदा कर रही है. और वो रिस्क क्या है? द रिस्क इज बेसिकली रिलेटेड टू द सिक्योरिटी एंड द प्राइवेसी ऑफ डेटा. ऑलराइट. तो इसी क्रम में सिंगापुर की गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया है? सिंगापुर की गवर्नमेंट ने एक डेटाबेस इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, ठीक है ना, जिसको कहेंगे सिटीजन डेटाबेस. वहां के सिटीजन्स के लिए, नागरिकों के लिए डेटाबेस इंट्रोड्यूस किया गया है, जो कि बेस्ड होगा किस पर? फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन पर. उनके चेहरे के डेटा को, बायोमेट्रिक डेटा को स्टोर करके वो देश रखने की कोशिश कर रहा है. ठीक है. सो दैट मीन्स वी कैन से that this comes in contention against the right to privacy as a fundamental and the natural right of an individual. तो कई लोगों का सवाल है कि क्या ये right to privacy को violate तो नहीं कर रहा है? Is it not violating the right to privacy? So we will see in this lecture that whether is it violating the right to privacy or is it not, or whether it is not so necessary, right? क्या इसकी जरूरत है या जरूरत नहीं है? We will observe all these things. सारी चीजें हम ये observe करेंगे, ठीक है? So let's proceed and understand that how does this technology work? ये टेक्नोलॉजी काम कैसे करती है? So first thing is that the facial verification works by scanning someone's face and matching it with a database image which is present in the government's original database. सपोज कीजिए कि आप कहीं से जा रहे हैं, सपोज एयरपोर्ट टर्मिनल्स पर, रेलवे स्टेशन पर या कहीं पर भी किसी पब्लिक प्लेस पर. सो डेफिनेटली योर फेस मस्ट हैव बीन क्लिक्ड एटलीस्ट वंस और ट्वाइस बाय एनी कैमरा, क्लोज सर्किट कैमरास, राइट? आपका फोटो कहीं ना कहीं तो क्लिक हुआ ही होगा, रिकॉर्ड में मौजूद रहा ही होगा. सो दैट पर्टिकुलर फोटोग्राफ इज टू बी स्टोर्ड इन द गवर्नमेंट्स ओरिजिनल डेटाबेस, दैट इज ओरिजिनल, ऑलराइट. और मे बी कि आपका आधार कार्ड ऐसा कोई डॉक्यूमेंट बना हो, राइट? आपका ड्राइविंग लाइसेंस बना हो, ऐसा कोई भी डॉक्यूमेंट जहां पर आपने अपना फोटोग्राफ सबमिट किया हो, राइट? So that means any such place where you might have submitted your photograph. So government has your official record as well. Suppose what happens? Suppose you are now sometime you are now a culprit. Okay, you have done something wrong. You are a criminal now, and you want to escape this country. So what happened? This facial verification technology that will verify your face with the same data as stored with the government's original database, maybe ID card, driving license, Aadhaar card, those things. And this will be giving the cross check that whether this person is same or not. Earlier this was limited, right? पहले ये क्या था? Limited था. But now Singapore has brought up a legislation and a scheme called as the National ID Scheme. So why are we discussing here in India? Because guys, आपको पता होगा कि अभी रिसेंटली जो है आधार कार्ड के बारे में भी ऐसी बातें चल रही थी कि गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू स्टोर द प्राइवेट इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ द पीपल, गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू स्टोर द बायोमेट्रिक इंफॉर्मेशन ऑफ द पीपल थ्रू द आधार कार्ड. सो दैट मीन्स, व्हाट डज दैट मीन? That means that maybe the billion of people in India, billion plus people living in India, their biometric data, right? That means the data which is unique, the scan of their retina, all right, and the scan of their fingerprints, all these are stored with the government. This may be stolen, कोई चोरी कर सकता है, right? Someone may misuse it, right, against your economic interests. आपके पैसे का नुकसान कर सकता है. Maybe anything, any kind of loss can be done, right? The loss to money is a very small thing. There can be n number of losses. Okay, so we are going to discuss about those things, guys. So this technology is basically the result of the fourth industrial revolution. What is this, guys? Fourth industrial revolution. So basically industrial revolution is something when a new technique or new technology related to any industry that is introduced and that changes the whole thing. सब कुछ बदल के रख देता है. All right. So what will happen? What will happen if this is considered as a fourth industrial revolution? It will be based on the artificial intelligence and big data. So guys, UPSC is very much interested in the GS mains paper 3. All right, GS mains paper 3. UPSC is very much interested in asking such questions related to the right to privacy, related to the intellectual property rights, related to the developmentals in the science and technology. Okay, so all those developments which are taking place in this field would be covered under the GS third paper of UPSC mains. Okay, UPSC mains, CSE mains. Okay. So guys, therefore we are doing it. So what is exactly it? So according to this, the government of Singapore, the facial verification identity check on SingPass. This is the name of the National Digital ID. Okay, National Digital ID that allows the access to more than 400 public and private services is being piloted by the several government agencies. So basically what happens that every person will have to be carrying this particular identity, national identity called SingPass. Guys, let us compare this with Aadhaar card. How is this different from Aadhaar card? Even Aadhaar card is storing your biometric data. लेकिन difference इस बात का है कि that Aadhaar card is only required when you want to avail some definite services. जैसे आपको गवर्नमेंट की सब्सिडी चाहिए, राइट? सिलेंडर आपके मतलब गैस सिलेंडर्स के ऊपर या किसी मतलब और भी जैसे राशन शॉप से आपको कुछ वहां से राशन रिक्वायर्ड है, तो ऐसी कंडीशन में आपको आधार कार्ड जो है वो रिक्वायर्ड होगा. डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर डीबीटी के लिए या कैश ट्रांसफर के लिए आपको आधार कार्ड की रिक्वायरमेंट लगती है. बट आधार कार्ड डज नॉट मेक it mandatory that you should carry it on all the places to be verified. No, it is not mandatory. You can use any other document. But Singapore has made it a rule that everybody will have to carry a Sing Pass. The Sing Pass will be used across the various platforms, more than 400 services and platforms, to verify that whether that person belongs to the Singapore, whether that person has any particular criminal record, or is he a wanted criminal or something. So basically to verify the existence. All right. So what is the verification and recognition? Right. Verification and recognition. That means these two are different things. Definitely these two are different things. One is to verify. That means to prove that these two are the same persons. Okay, these two are the same persons. Okay, and other one is to recognize that who is this. Okay, तो एक में क्या करते हैं, वेरीफाई करते हैं, राइट? ऐसा प्रूव करने की कोशिश करते हैं कि सपोज कल को अगर मान के चलते हैं कि दाऊद इब्राहिम जो है, राइट, ही रिटर्न्स टू इंडिया एंड वी डोंट हैव एनी updated records. Okay, updated records, so we cannot verify his advent or his coming to India. However recognition, तो अब recognition क्या चीज है भाई? recognition क्या है? recognition है जब आपके एक यूनिक फेस के पैटर्न को स्टोर कर लिया गया है. अगली बार जब आप आओगे तो फिर आपका चेहरा वेरीफाई भी कर सकता है. ठीक है ना? तो ये चीज जो है वो डिफरेंस है. वेरिफिकेशन के लिए ये जरूरी है कि आपका डेटा, आपके चेहरे का पूरा बायोमेट्रिक डेटा जो है वो सिस्टम में अवेलेबल रहे, राइट? इट शुड बी अवेलेबल इनटू द सिस्टम. हाउएवर इट इज when it is not available, then this is stored in the system of the government surveillance, and this is called as the recognition. Now, so guys, what happens? Both facial recognition and facial verification depend on the scanning of a subject's face and matching it with an image in an existing database to establish their identity. All right. However, the difference is that verification requires the explicit consent of the user, and the user gets something in return. Okay. For example, whenever you apply for a form, okay, apply in a form, like आप किसी form वगैरह में apply करते हैं, so it asks you that just tell the sum, or to verify if you are not a robot. Okay, to verify if you are not a robot. So that means you have to tell some calculation like 2 plus 3 or something, or you have to tell sometimes that what is in which blocks there is the image of car. You have to identify these things. So this is called as the verification. Sometimes you enter into an office and it scans you. This is called as the verification because it asks for your consent, right? You purposely give your access to that particular database which tries to verify you. But sometimes this happens without your recognition. For example, in the railway station, there are CCTV cameras. All right, there are CCTV cameras. Ashish, very good afternoon. Why today's holiday on the Gradeup paid courses? Because today is Christmas, and Christmas is one of the recognized and listed holidays in the Gradeup's calendar. All right, Ashish. So therefore, it was off today for the paid courses. All right. Now, what happens when you pass through the railway station? So in that case, maybe that security camera records your face, but it is not asking for your permission na? It is doing by by default, खुद ब खुद कर रहा है, it's doing by itself without asking my permission. So this is called as the recognition. So it has recorded your face for once. अगर आप पहली बार गए हैं तो आपका फेस अब रिकॉर्ड हो गया है, alright. And in case आप बार बार आ जा रहे हैं and you are a criminal, so this may recognize your face also. Okay, but difference किस बात का हुआ, that the person does not know, the person does not collaborate with, and it is basically not directly involved with the person. Okay, so no control of the privacy. Your face is going anywhere, right, to the government record without your recognition. All right. Sindhu Priya, very good afternoon. Merry Christmas to both of you guys, those who joined recently. Then guys, here it is, for example, when you start your phone, some phones like iPhone has the facial recognition system or face verification system, right? Face unlock, we call it as the face unlock. Okay, so what does it do? It basically, the front camera looks at your picture and verifies that it is you only. Then what does it do? It unlocks the phone. So this is called as the facial verification. When it is done unknowingly or generally, it is called facial recognition. Now, what is the facial recognition technology? Right? How does it work? So basically, just same example which I gave to you, that may scan the face of everyone in a train station, or it may alert the authorities if any wanted criminal walks past a camera. Right? The security agencies like CBI, like Intelligence Bureau, like the CIDs of state police, all these agencies may use this data or this technology to recognize such a criminal who is walking in front of these cameras which are located. All right. So these cameras can recognize. Now, face recognition. Kajal, a very good afternoon, Kajal. A very good afternoon. So face recognition has all sorts of the social implications. Like, guys, it has no provision of any privacy. Even the criminals have got the right to privacy, because they might also be the citizens of India at the same time. However, this technology does not respect the right to privacy. All right, and it is not under our control. If we are going and we are being clicked with a picture, right, our face is being recorded, it is not under our control. Okay, so this works voluntarily. How does it work? This is the image, if you can say this, capturing and scanning. Okay, then extracting the facial data. So what will it do? It will just see this image in zoom. It will draw a recognition map on your face, but that will be called as a biometric map on your face. All right. And yes, Swastika, please ask your doubt. And Ashish is asking already a doubt that if we have weared a mask, then what will happen? So if you have worn a mask, then definitely it cannot recognize. It is no, you can say, rocket science. It cannot recognize. And therefore, guys, before this epidemic, right, before this epidemic had hit the humanity, many developed countries which were worried for their security, like France, like USA, like Norway, many such countries which were too much worried about their security, they did not allow any such wrapping cloths which are covering the face. All right. So therefore, guys, it was not allowed. However, due to this COVID-19, this is now a mandatory thing. So how can it recognize them? It cannot recognize, but the facial verification technology has to be used. Verification that each and every person will have to pass through any specific gates. Like we enter into the metro stations, we have to pass that checking gates, Okay, so it has the scanner going across us and it stores all the data of ours. Okay, now, so it captures the face, then extracts the data, that which is exactly, how much is the cheekbone lifted, and what is the shape of the nose, how are the eyes, what is the scan of those eyes and all those things. Then it compares the database. So this recognition system has the millions of faces preloaded, or sometimes suppose you are going for the first time, then it has also recorded your face. So it will compare the database, and if it is matched with somebody whose data is already fed, that okay, this was a criminal who had done this particular crime and this same person is passing through, it will just give an alert to the agencies. So this is basically the public surveillance, sarkari jasusi. All right. So what are the concerns, the points to be worried, right? Chinta ki baat. What are these? The concerns raised by the experts on the use of national digital ID coupled with the facial recognition technology. So Aarti, I think I am already using the bilingual, bilingual method, so that should be understandable to you. आपको समझ में आना चाहिए. Alright, मैं दोनों languages use कर रहा हूँ. ठीक है? Then check on the individual privacy. सबसे पहली चीज क्या होगा भाई, कि किसी भी नागरिक के जो प्राइवेसी का राइट टू प्राइवेसी है, किसी भी सिटीजन का राइट टू प्राइवेसी है, उसको वायलेट करता है या उसको ये इंपीड करता है, ओके, तोड़ता है. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, अकॉर्डिंग टू द ह्यूमन राइट्स एक्टिविस्ट्स, द इंक्लूजन ऑफ द फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन टेक्नोलॉजी हैज रेज्ड कंसर्न अबाउट द प्राइवेसी एंड सर्विलांस. अब सपोज एक कंडीशन लेते हैं कि लाइक समबडी इज हाइडिंग फ्रॉम हिज फैमिली मेंबर्स एंड गोइंग टू मीट वन ऑफ द सीक्रेट फ्रेंड्स ऑफ हिम. And then what does it do? The surveillance scheme, it just captures your face. Okay, and somehow maybe your face is leaked. That means your data of your face is leaked somewhere, and it appears on a gambling site. You might have seen that if sometimes some objectionable pages are opened on your browser and suddenly you can recognize one particular face, that this particular face was, I think probably it was somebody who used to appear in some movies or who used to appear in some serials and all those things, but this is seen in a different context here because they have used the pre-existing data by stealing it. Okay, तो आपका डेटा चुरा करके उसको डार्क वेब में, क्रिमिनल सर्कल्स में, कहीं पर भी, किसी फेक एडवर्टीजमेंट में, कहीं पर भी यूज कर सकते हैं. तो सबसे बड़ा रिस्क जो है वो किस पर है, आपके डेटा की और आपके चेहरे की प्राइवेसी पर है. ठीक है. सेकंड थिंग, अनफेवरेबल फॉर अ ग्लोबल सिटी लाइक सिंगापुर. सो व्हाट हैपेंस, एक्चुअली दिस टेक्नोलॉजी इज मेनली टारगेटेड टू आइडेंटिफाई द क्रिमिनल्स. ओके, टू आइडेंटिफाई द क्रिमिनल्स. बट द सिंगापुर इज अ कंट्री which is basically not just a country, but it is a big city which has have the status of country, but it is a cosmopolitan country. दुनिया भर से लोग सिंगापुर में आते हैं. Alright, so how can it create the problem? Because different number of people, they will be subjected to the check on their privacy. So what will it do? The people, if they will not be comfortable to visit Singapore, probably they may stop visiting Singapore. Alright, अगर वो उनको सही नहीं लगेगा, उनको लगेगा कि उनकी प्राइवेसी पर रिस्क है, तो सिंगापुर नहीं जाएंगे. तो this may affect the financial activities in a great financial center like Singapore. ठीक है. Now this is also the violation of the UN Charter of the Human Rights. So guys, if you might have studied, or we should understand that the United Nations had declared a Charter of the Human Rights. All right, Charter of the Human Rights. Saurabh, definitely Saurabh. Actually, this is the part of the current affairs, right? Part of the current affairs. The BPSC may ask the question like, which among the following countries have recently introduced the facial recognition based identification system or facial identification based recognition system. So the options may be like China, Taiwan, Singapore. So this is a very you can say useful topic. And why is it useful? क्यों useful है ये? Because Singapore has become one of the earliest developed nations, right? One of the earliest developed nations to introduce such a technology which actually violates the human rights, which actually violates the fundamental right of privacy. Okay, तो ये बहुत ज्यादा इसका मतलब क्रिटिसाइज भी किया जा रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा लोग इसका विरोध भी कर रहे हैं, तरह तरह के जो ह्यूमन राइट एक्टिविस्ट हैं, they are all trying to criticize this, but Singapore has given the reason that we cannot take the risk, right? We cannot take the risk for our national security. Okay, so Article 12 of the Universal Declaration of the Human Rights. This can also become a question in any examination like UPSC या फिर state PSC में एक question ये भी बन सकता है that which article of the Human Rights Declaration mentions, or UPSC में it may be written like consider the following statements about the UN Charter of the Human Rights. First statement would be the Singapore introduced the facial recognition system which violates the UN Charter on the Human Rights, right? Second statement will be Article 10 of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights mentions about the right to privacy, but that will be wrong, वो तो गलत हो जाएगा. So such type of questions may appear from this topic. Okay, Ashish is saying it is relevant for GS paper 2. Ashish, it is relevant for not just GS paper 2 but also for GS paper 3. GS paper 3 के लिए बल्कि ज़्यादा relevant है because it deals with the technology as well as it deals with the political rights. So if it is asked from the point of view of political rights, okay, from the point of view of the political rights, so it is more useful for the second paper. Otherwise, if it is asking for scientific perspective, to more useful for the paper 3. All right. Now, so UN also says that everyone has the right to the protection of the law against such interference or attacks. Even एक criminal, right, एक terrorist भी ये claim कर सकता है कि that his life, his personal details are not supposed to be leaked, are not supposed to be made public. If someone wishes that I don't want this interview to be published in the public domain, this is his right. He can accept it. He can expect it. Okay. But this recognition system does not respect the private right. Okay. Right to privacy. Then it creates the imbalance of power between citizens and state. So friends, this is very important thing. What happens that in a democracy, right? In a democracy, citizens are the source of power. Citizens are the source of power. Right? एक democratic country क्या करती है? लोगों से ही तो चुन के सरकार बनती है उनकी. That means लोगों को ज़्यादा powerful होना चाहिए. But this system is making the government more powerful. आप सोचो जरा कि आपका आधार कार्ड का डेटा या ऐसी तमाम जो भी सेंसिटिव इंफॉर्मेशन है, अगर वो गवर्नमेंट के पास स्टोर्ड है, तो क्या आपको लगता है कि कल को आप अगर कुछ भी ऐसा करते हैं which is against the government, or sometimes you commit some things or such things which are against the government or against the law made by the government, do you really think that it cannot actually auction your property, it cannot actually reach your house, it cannot actually arrest you from your home, right? Even sometimes it is also possible that in the upcoming time period this law may be changed into the biometric recognition law, in which the government will be like, okay, let us have one bionic chip on your hand or behind your neck, so wherever you can go, right, this chip will be giving me the information, giving the government information that where is Abhishek sitting or where is Abhishek going. So guys, these are the possible abuses or possible imbalances of the power between citizens and state. तो गवर्नमेंट इसका बहुत फायदा उठा सकती है. कल को हो सकता है कि आपके हाथ में, आपके गर्दन में कोई ऐसा चिप या कोई ऐसा जो है डेटा कार्ड ऐसा कुछ डाल दिया जाए, जीपीएस चिप वगैरह डाल दिया, जैसे एक बार राइट बात की जा रही थी कि नोट्स में होगा, बट दैट वाज ऑल फॉल्स. बट गाइज दिस वुड बी द ट्रुथ इन अपकमिंग टाइम. आने वाले टाइम में ऐसा हो सकता है, इट मे बी पॉसिबल, बिकॉज व्हाट हैपन, गवर्नमेंट विल हैव योर बायोमेट्रिक एंड अदर डिटेल्स. कितने लोगों को बायोमेट्रिक नहीं पता? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू डोंट नो व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ बायोमेट्रिक? Yes guys, how many of you do not know that what is the meaning of the biometric? Biometrics, what is this? क्या होता है ये biometrics? Anybody, can you please tell me? So guys, try to tell that meaning of biometrics, and let us see at the fifth condition, right? So it also has the lack of accuracy and reliability. So okay, so Ashish is saying that he doesn't know that. बायोमेट्रिक्स का मतलब होता है जो हमारे यूनिक बायोलॉजिकल आइडेंटिफिकेशन पॉइंट्स होते हैं, राइट? द पॉइंट्स विच वी हैव यूनिक फ्रॉम वन पर्सन टू अदर पर्सन, सच एज द रेटिना, राइट? द पैटर्न ऑफ योर रेटिना. ओके, सो दिस पैटर्न इज यूनिक. द फिंगरप्रिंट्स दैट यू हैव, द फिंगरप्रिंट्स ऑफ ईच एंड एवरी इंडिविजुअल इज यूनिक. ऑलराइट, इट इज यूनिक. And similarly guys, the facial recognition, if it is done absolutely with perfection, 100% accuracy, believe me guys, even the face patterns are also different. Even the identical twins, they may have the 99.99% similar appearance, but at least 0.01% dissimilarities or differences must be there. So a very good facial recognition system may identify even this much of difference. Okay, तो क्या मतलब हुआ बायोमेट्रिक्स का? कि हमारे जो यूनिक बायोलॉजिकल आइडेंटिफिकेशन पॉइंट्स हैं, आई स्कैन, राइट, सॉरी, रेटिना का स्कैन, फिंगरप्रिंट्स का स्कैन, ये सारी चीजें, हमारा फेशियल पैटर्न, ये सारी चीजें जो है वो बायोमेट्रिक्स में काउंट होती हैं. ऑलराइट, दीज थिंग्स आर काउंटेड अंडर द बायोमेट्रिक्स. नाउ द फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन कपल्ड विद ऑगमेंटेड रियलिटी एंड आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस इज अ न्यूबी इन द फील्ड ऑफ द टेक्नोलॉजी एंड नीड्स मैसिव अपग्रेडेशन. सो गाइज, have you ever used that application which makes your face look like a baby or which makes your face look like an old man? आपने ऐसा एप्लीकेशन यूज किया है क्या, जिसमें कि आपका चेहरा जो है वो मतलब मॉडिफाई करके आपकी सेल्फी को एक बच्चे के जैसा दिखाएगा कि आप अगर यंग होते तो कैसे दिखते, या आपकी सेल्फी को मॉडिफाई करके एक ओल्ड एज के इंसान जैसा दिखाएगा कि अगर आप बूढ़े होते तो आप कैसे दिखते. ऑल दीज आर जस्ट द पार्ट ऑफ द फेशियल रिकॉग्निशन सिस्टम गाइज. ये सब उसी का हिस्सा है. दे आर ट्राइंग टू स्टोर योर फेशियल डेटा, एंड हु नोज कि इस फेशियल डेटा को कहां पर भेज दिया गया हो. अगर कोई चाइनीज एप्लीकेशन होगा तो क्या पता वो चाइना में भेज दिया गया हो. आपको लगता होगा कि भाई हमारा फेस किस काम का है, इतनी वैल्यू है हमारे फेस की. डेफिनेटली, बिकॉज दे कैन क्रिएट अ सिमिलर प्रोटोटाइप and may be possible a similar looking mask in upcoming time, and someone may do some bad activity or some other criminal activity in the face of yours, so you cannot be spared then. So guys, never use such type of applications which actually store your images and then they export your images, right? So please, then all these were the tensions which were raised by the human right activists, common citizens, and the people who were unwilling to follow the law. But which are the arguments given by the government against the concerns? Government का क्या कहना है कि भाई आपकी चिंता जो है वो बिल्कुल ही बेकार है, उसकी कोई वजह नहीं है, हम आपको पूरी तरीके से एकदम अश्योर करते हैं कोई रिस्क नहीं है. राइट, सो गवर्नमेंट इज ट्राइंग टू अश्योर दैट there is no risk to the privacy of any person, any individual. All right, why government is saying that the consent was taken by the citizens? सरकार का कहना है कि पब्लिक से पूछ करके ही इस तरीके का स्टेप लिया गया था. All right, so that means the government of Singapore says that what happens, that biometrics for the surveillance, right, these things are used, these things are done without asking the individuals. But in Singapore, we are ensuring that every user is aware and gives the consent before proceeding with the verification process. तो दोस्तों, सिंगापुर की गवर्नमेंट का ये कहना है कि हमने सर्विलांस सिस्टम चालू नहीं किया है, हमने रिकॉग्निशन सिस्टम चालू नहीं किया है, हमने तो वेरिफिकेशन सिस्टम चालू किया है. मतलब द पीपल हु आर टेकिंग पार्ट इनटू इट, दे हैव गिवन देयर एक्सेप्टेंस. उनकी मर्जी से हम वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं उन्हें, उनकी मर्जी से उनका डेटा स्टोर किया जा रहा है, बिना पूछे नहीं. सो दिस इज द फर्स्ट एक्सक्यूज और फर्स्ट reason given by the government of Singapore. So similarly, like in Aadhaar card, we ourselves go to the Aadhaar centers, we ourselves get our photos clicked, we ourselves give our facial fingerprints, facial recognition and everything, and then Aadhaar card is prepared. So you cannot blame the government that government is forcing us to make an Aadhaar card. Government is just insisting you that it will be good for you. So if you get it, that means you are going to give it with your own consent. Now, automatic deletion of data after 30 days. So government is saying that there is nothing to worry. चिंता की कोई बात ही नहीं है. Why? Because there will be the automatic deletion of the data after 30 days. So सिंगापुर गवर्नमेंट का कहना है कि 30 दिन के बाद या 1 महीने के बाद वो जो भी डेटा आपने दिया है स्टोर करने के लिए, वो ऑटोमेटिकली डिलीट हो जाएगा. This is the system designed by the government. So there is no question of any storage of data. तो जो प्रोपेगेट किया जा रहा है कि गवर्नमेंट स्टोर कर लेगी डेटा आपका, उसको हो सकता है कि लीक हो जाए, हो सकता है कि कोई उसको थेफ्ट कर ले, उसकी चोरी कर ले. These fears are useless. It is said by government of Singapore. No sharing of data. So government is also giving the guarantee that it is not going to share your data with any private sector. Guys, this is a very bad thing. I think all of you must be suffering from this. Remember, ever you have browsed the Flipkart or Amazon? कभी आपने Flipkart या Amazon अगर चलाया हो, and you might, और Myntra अगर चलाया हो आपने, या even आप अगर Gradeup का एप्लीकेशन यूज करते हो, Gradeup के साइट विजिट करते हो बार बार, so what will happen? What will happen? Whenever you will be browsing the Google, whenever you will be browsing the internet, so repeatedly the advertisement will be coming from, it will keep coming from Myntra, Flipkart, even the Gradeup, all the companies, guys, all the modern companies, they are getting displayed on the browsing pages. And this is possible because all the browsing engines like Google Chrome, like Apple Safari, all these browsing engines like Mozilla Firefox, ये सब के पास आपका डेटा होता है. All these browsing engines have your data. आपका नाम, आपका मोबाइल नंबर, आपके choices, browsing history, remember? So whatever sites you visit, जो भी वेबसाइट्स आप देखते हैं, all those websites are stored in the history of these browsers, and these are shared with the parent company. तो गूगल का क्रोम का डेटा चलाया था किसके पास? गूगल के पास. और गूगल क्या करता है? उस डेटा को अपनी पार्टनर कंपनीज के साथ शेयर करता है कि भाई there is a one person, right? For example, RTG is there, and RTG is nowadays looking for some dress on the Myntra website. So if RTG will be browsing the internet, so what will happen? That internet, that Google Chrome will keep on showing you a small pop-up with this type of small window, and it will be having like Myntra 40 to 60% sale, right? This is how. So this is how they are recognizing your browsing pattern. This is how they are recognizing your behavior on the internet. And therefore, as soon as you put some photograph on any random website, as soon as you put your phone number on any random website, be sure that your number is distributed among different companies, right? For example, if you want to check, just go and search for some insurance product, search for some, for example, policy products, okay? Search for some stock market related advices, and see that after 1 week or 10 days, there will be coming various calls from different companies asking you, sir, are you trading in the market right now? Are you investing in the share market? Are you willing to have some insurance policy? All these type of things. So this is possible because the internet is actually storing your data. And not just internet, guys, nowadays even the countries have started the mass surveillance. Best example is China. Okay, China क्या कर रहा है? It basically comprises of a network of the monitoring systems which is used by the Chinese government in order to supervise the lives of Chinese citizens. अपने देश के नागरिकों पर नजर रखने के लिए एक मॉनिटरिंग सिस्टम का नेटवर्क तैयार किया गया है चाइना में. And what does it do? It monitors the citizens through the internet, camera, digital technologies like augmented reality, artificial intelligence, big data and all that. So basically guys, we all know that there is no Facebook, no Google, right, and no Twitter. All these websites are banned in China. China has its own, right? Even Google Maps is not there. China has its own, okay, Baidu, right? Twitter is not there. It has the Weibo, okay, Weibo. So guys, China, is trying to make its own system, which is actually having the surveillance mechanism. What is surveillance? Jasusi. Surveillance mechanism. So Chinese applications, Chinese websites, Chinese interfaces are such that which actually store your data. Have you ever wondered, क्या आपने कभी सोचा है that if you are installing one particular application and that application has nothing to do with your photograph, with your camera and all that, but sometimes it asks for permission, and permission of what? Permission to your camera. आपको आप में से मतलब most of you people don't even look at this. They just okay, yes. हर कोई permission देता है, but you cannot even recognize that in the background this camera, these applications can switch your camera on and they can scan your face, they can copy it and send it to the master server located outside India, and this will not be even known to you. So this is called as the facial recognition, remember, without your knowledge. So what happened guys? Several companies, for example Tencent, Dahua Technology, Hikvision, SenseTime, ByteDance. Remember this ByteDance? TikTok. This ByteDance is the company which was the owner of TikTok. Then Megvii, Huawei. Remember this Huawei, which was banned by US government. Then ZTE. So ZTE, all these are the giant Chinese companies which are keeping an eye on the Chinese citizens, and not just Chinese citizens, all around the globe, those who are using the gadgets made by these companies, those are at the risk. वो खतरे में हैं जो ये सारी चीजों के एप्लीकेशंस, उनके गैजेट, उनके इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स, उनके मतलब वेबसाइट्स वगैरह को यूज करते हैं. Alright? Then China is also having the system called Skynet system, right, which is including more than 200 million, right, more than 200 million of the monitoring CCTV cameras. Can you imagine guys? This is a huge number. And in India also we have got Netra. So Netra is basically network traffic analysis. Guys, this may be important for your BPSC examination as well, and this all lecture is important for the UPSC General Studies paper 3. Alright, so this is Netra, that is the mass surveillance system of India. So what is it? A software network developed by the China Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. So sorry guys, India Center for Artificial Intelligence and Robotics. So CAIR, that is actually the Defense Research and DRDO's wing, okay, a laboratory located in the Pune, okay, and that is actually working for the DRDO's artificial intelligence wing. okay, artificial intelligence में. And not only that guys, not only that, actually RAW, that is the India's domestic intelligence agency IB, and the RAW is the overseas intelligence agency. These both are using it, okay, these both are using the system. तो IB और RAW दोनों नेत्र सिस्टम ऑफ सर्विलांस यूज कर रहे हैं ऑलरेडी. किसने डेवलप किया इसको? DRDO ने डेवलप किया. ऑलराइट, एंड DRDO के किस पर्टिकुलर लैब ने डेवलप किया इसको? सेंटर फॉर आर्टिफिशियल इंटेलिजेंस एंड रोबोटिक्स. ऑलराइट, CAIR. नाउ अगर हम बात करें कि नेत्रा का या चाइना के स्काई लैब, जो स्काई मेट का जो system है, right, the systems which are developed by India, that is called Netra, or developed by China, that is called Skynet. How are these systems going to impact the citizens? आम नागरिक को कैसे ये प्रभावित करेगा? How will it impact the common citizen? So as usual guys, Singapore, we are learning about the Singapore in general, sorry, in particular, and any countries in general which are planning to implement such type of surveillance. So what will happen? It will harness, right, it will utilize the advancements in the artificial intelligence and data mining and the storage to construct the detailed profiles on all the citizens. Okay, so what happened? Acha, how to prepare English and Hindi language papers? Please suggest the book's name. Aarti, basically, you know, the level of questions which are asked in the examination, right, for the English language or for the Hindi language, those are the very simple questions which should be easily handled by a 10th level of book of English main course book, NCERT, and Hindi book as well. तो अगर आपके पास 10th तक का नॉलेज है इंग्लिश और हिंदी ग्रामर का, कंप्रिहेंशन का, राइटिंग का, आपके सेंटेंस मेकिंग का, तो ट्रांसलेशन का, तो आप आसानी से उसको कर सकती हैं. कोई अलग से बुक की रिक्वायरमेंट मुझे तो नहीं लगती है. आई डोंट थिंक दैट इट इज रिक्वायर्ड. हाँ, अगर आपको ऐसा लगता है तो मैं आपको सजेस्ट करूंगा कि एक बार आप वापस से क्लास 9th और 10th की NCERT, राइट, NCERT का हिंदी का ग्रामर और इंग्लिश का ग्रामर प्लस इंग्लिश का मेन कोर्स बुक जो है वो दोनों अच्छी तरीके से पढ़ लीजिए, अच्छी तरीके से सॉल्व कर लीजिए. ऑलराइट, so that will help you in very detailed way. Second thing guys, impact और क्या है, right? What is the next impact? China's Communist Party state is developing a citizen score to incentivize good behavior. Guys, can you imagine these type of things are being done by the government which may keep a third eye? It's, you know, your life will become like the house of Big Boss. Okay, that somebody somewhere every now and then would be watching your activities in the public. They would be watching your activities in the public. So they will rate, they will give you some score in China, right, as per your behavior. So if you are decided that you are a good citizen, so they will give you some incentives, and it is not required to say that those who will break the laws, they will be definitely fined. They will be given some fine. Okay, so guys, these type of the impacts on the common citizens of Singapore, China, etc. have been observed, and other things such as the facial recognition algorithm which have been matched with the images filed away in a secret database can create legal trouble. Okay, so what will happen? So guys, even if you are suppose just outside your house, you are standing outside your house and somebody comes and starts abusing you, so may be possible that somebody might be a police officer or something, and then you do not understand that why is he abusing you, and then you start hitting him, you start beating him. So what will happen? That person might be having some system, or that maybe that place on a pole there is a camera which is looking at both of you. So that camera will recognize your face because you have the data stored in the government record. So that may send a report to the local police station that this fellow is actually beating someone. So immediately, without your knowledge, the police may arrive at your door. So this is also possible. So in short, what can we say? What can we say that impact? The biggest impact is Biggest impact is going to the privacy of the life is gonna end, is going to be end. Okay, going to be end. तो आपको अगर सोचिए कि अगर आप कहीं पर बाहर जा रहे हैं, शॉपिंग सेंटर जा रहे हैं और आप घर पहुंचते हैं, इससे तब तक में कॉल आ जाता है कि भाई कि सर आपने ये पर्टिकुलर चीजें खरीदी हैं, आपको हमारे ब्रांड में क्या क्या कमी आई. यू विल बी इरिटेटेड लाइक दीज गाइज आर नॉट लीविंग अस फॉर अ सेकेंड, दे आर जस्ट sucking our blood. Why are they doing this? And these all may become possible when there will be a public surveillance system. So guys, this public surveillance system actually it has both positives as well as negatives. All right, so this is very important lecture guys. Do not try to miss this lecture. Make sure that those who have not watched it live, if they get the notification, please do watch it complete, because it gives you several important informations related to the UPSC examination as well as the any other examination which you are going to prepare for this year. All right guys, so here are some practice questions which may be very much useful for the mains examination of the UPSC or even some state PSCs as well. For example, it may cover the science and tech part, or sometimes it may cover the political and constitutional paper. That is, the polity and constitution comes in the paper 2 of UPSC and this comes in paper 3. So one question: facial data recognition may be a great weapon in the war against public corruption. Paper 2. So this is an important question. All right. Acha, which type questions from ethics are asked in the UPSC IAS and how we ethics? Aarti, actually for the ethics, okay, what is required? First of all, you need to have some basic information about the main philosophies, right? Main philosophers and the work ethics and all those things. Okay. So that is going to help you. Apart from that, the previous year questions, if you can see those questions, if you can get those questions, so Gradeup is actually coming up with the various plans, right? Various plans where the expert faculties are going to give you the courses for prelims cum mains. So guys, in this particular course, what will happen? They will be covering up the GS paper 4, especially because this paper 4 ethics is actually regarded as the best scoring paper if you have prepared well. This paper actually decides the rank of your posting in the examination result. So do not worry, right? Just make sure that you have the basic knowledge of the class 11th, okay, class 11th NCERT philosophy. Okay, this book you may refer, or you may also refer to a book called the ethics, right? Ethics, having the lexicon publication. Okay, lexicon publication. Or if you do not get any help from these sources, then definitely you can look for this particular program under the Gradeup Super, which will give you the detailed access to all the sections, all the major papers of the UPSC examination. All right guys, so do not forget to take the advantage of the current sale going on, that is the flat 20% off. All right, flat 20% off, that is Gradeup is offering to all of you, and a surprise from the side of Santa Claus. That means up to 40% you can get this discount if you subscribe to the Gradeup Super even today. All right guys, so thank you so much for watching it. I hope that you all like this important information, you all like the overall analysis and discussion guys. So those who are watching it on the YouTube, make sure they give a thumbs up to this video and they subscribe to our channel, that is Gradeup IAS. Those who are watching on the application guys, make sure that you give very good ratings to this lecture, and let's meet in some other important lecture in the next time. Till then guys, prep smart, score better and go Gradeup. Thank you so much guys.